All right, so been wanting to do these film reviews for a while. Haven't had a chance, but gonna be knocking out a couple of them today. And the first one we're gonna start with is Evan Haines out of Broomfield, Colorado. Goes to Broomfield High School, Boulder Valley School District. Reigning 4A state champions from last year. He is an offensive lineman, a tackle, 6'7", 315, as an off the bus kid. So, which means steps off the bus and everybody goes, "Who's that?" You want to know immediately who that is when they step off the bus. That's Evan. 3-star. I'm pretty sure 247 3-star recruit, and he's uncommitted. So let's look at his first 3 games. He tagged myself in this as well as a lot of other people. But if you would like to have your film reviewed by me and get honest feedback on structure and just what I see in general, yeah, just feel free. I mean, this is my Twitter account. If you don't have Twitter, you are wrong if you're trying to go to college, unless you just are fortunate enough to where it doesn't matter. But that's not everybody. All right, let's get into it. So, okay, we got the arrow that shows us Evan. It's him right there driving somebody into the end zone. Okay, so my first take already right now is I want to see pre-snap, not post-snap. I want you to identify yourself pre-snap so I can see what you look like in your set too. I want to see what you look like in your stance. Again, not, that's more so a take for the average person. Evan's already being recruited, so it's not like that's going to hurt him. But I would say, for anybody else watching this that's on the offensive line, pre-snap. These arrows are perfect. Don't use circles if you're on the line. Use an arrow. That's very important to understand because it's just too cluttered in there. But I want to see you pre-snap. I want to see what you look like in your stance and how you fire out of it, not when you're already done those two things. That's a big part. I like the finish. A lot of strength, a lot of power, right? You're able to outmuscle a lot of your opponents, which I find impressive. And you're a big dude though, so I kind of expect it. Pass that. Okay, I like that. Look pretty good moving your feet. Also look like whoever you were going up against wasn't giving you much of a challenge there. So, two of my big takeaways from this is one, there's not a single clip of you pulling. Obviously, you're not in charge of what scheme is. So if, let's say, if if your coach doesn't run plays where you have to pull, then you're not going to have to pull. If that's one thing that I would like to see is just more so agility and athleticism in pulling. That's why I like to see it. It shows me what you look like on the run. The game at the next level is very athletic, even for offensive linemen, right? Scrambles and having to move pockets and extend plays and stuff like that. So definitely want to start seeing stuff, want to see a little bit more of that. It's not the end of the world though, especially for a player like Evan. You're just fine there. The other thing, I want to see these clips identify you pre-snap before you get in action. Okay, and I think that's important for every single player, no matter what. Obviously, there are going to be some exceptions, like if you're not in frame. So let's say if it's a punt and the clip starts on the punter, but you're the returner. So once you get in frame, boom, freeze it, point you out, and then let's continue. But when you're on the line and it's pre-snap, go ahead and identify yourself before that ball is snapped so we can see what you look like in your stance and we can see what you look like firing out of your stance. And then, put a couple more pass plays wouldn't hurt, just to be able to see what you look like moving your feet in some pass sets, especially when you go up against some tougher competition, because you're 6'7" as a tackle, right? That's an important position. It's one of the most important positions on the field per the game, right? Per the scheme is your tackles, especially your left tackle, which makes one of the most important positions on defense, those edge rushers. And those edge rushers can move. I mean, you got guys that can really move coming off the edge. So want to see what you look like and stuff like that. But what I will say, the most important thing about highlight film is to get the viewer and your target audience, which is college coaches. It's nobody else. Your target audience are college coaches, whoever can offer you a scholarship. Not me, not your mom, not your brother, not your dad, right? Not your own head coach. It is that your target audience are the people who can give you scholarships. And in my opinion, if I'm somebody who has the power to give scholarships, 1, 6, 7, I already want to know more about you. But 2, watching this film, seeing you drive people down the field, seeing you pancake, constantly finishing these plays. I like the intensity. I like the strength. I like the power. I want to know more. And that is exactly what you want your highlight film to do, is to get your target audience, AKA those with the power to offer you scholarships, to say, I want to know more about this kid. Boom, full stop. Your film has done its job, and I think this film has done its job. Great job, Evan.